y'all. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is T or Luna, whichever you decide, and I'm here as your guide. I hope you're ready for this ride. Health and wellness is a worthy pursuit through self-discipline and love. We can all have a life reboot. So, welcome to my channel. This is Working with a Purpose. Here we talk about all things spirituality, wellness, and personal development as we focus on reparenting ourselves in order to get our ish together by deconstructing our default methods with active healing, active growing, and active aligning with our highest vibrations. Welcome to that work. So, we're starting off this channel with a series I call Healing with a Purpose. We will talk about tips, techniques, rituals, practices, tools, and more to assist you on your healing journey. Because October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, let's take a moment of sacred silence for babies and mothers lost in this journey called life. We give thanks. Ashe, Amen. So in this month's Healing with a Purpose, we will be centered around the conversation and healing practices to educate families and friends while supporting those who have experienced this profound and often silent experience of loss. Now, many do not necessarily enjoy talking about death or grief, yet it's an experience that we all have had at one point or another or will in our lifetime. Therefore, during Healing with the Purpose, we will hold space for those with the experience and also educate loved ones on emotionally competent ways to support those in grief. So the type of grief that we will be covering is often under the realm of disenfranchised grief or loss, a term coined by researcher and renowned grief therapist Dr. Ken Daka, who explains disenfranchised grief as grief that persons experience when they incur a loss that is not or cannot be openly acknowledged, socially sanctioned, or publicly mourned. Unfortunately, we live in a society where mothers and families who have experienced miscarriage, abortion, stillbirth, and even maternal death, where they don't often have the public space or community support to cope with and recover from these adverse birth and pregnancy experiences. Now, I know this can be heavy, but I want you to know that you are not alone. I also want to create a space in which community can be more open about these experiences, and hopefully through love and support, we can do our best to alleviate some of the silence and guilt mothers and families often feel in these experiences. All right, so y'all gonna have to excuse my dog in the back. He's being dog Caleb. That's Caleb. He might even have his own. I call it the Caleb Chronicles. He may be featured, so excuse me. But all right, so I've done a quick explanation on what we will be embarking on this month, in this month's Healing with the Purpose, and how we will compassionately speak about pregnancy and infant loss. So let's have a quick breakdown of the terminology before moving forward. All right, these terms will be used throughout the month and moving forward in this series dedicated to Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. So first term is miscarriage. Miscarriage is the spontaneous loss of a pregnancy before the 12th or 27th week, usually occurring before the 12th week of pregnancy. These weeks differentiate by the state laws and regulations around birth, which is crazy. Abortion. Abortion is the ending of a pregnancy after, accompanied by, resulting in, or closely followed by the death of an embryo, fetus, or baby. And stillbirth. Stillbirth is a fetal death that occurs after 20, 27, or 28 weeks of pregnancy. Also, these weeks differentiate depending on the state as well. And fatal diagnosis. Fatal diagnosis is a pregnancy in which a baby may perish prior to or shortly after birth due to an irreversible illness. This information was retrieved through my training as a P.A.I.L advocate or pregnancy and infant loss advocate, and the course will be linked in the description box below. Also, the sister has a Facebook group for mothers and families who have experienced maternal infant loss as well. I believe it's called Q.U.I.L.T, Quietly United in Loss. What's the T? Through loss and trauma, maybe, not sure. But I will link that in the description box below also. So pregnancy and together. That's what the T stands for. Okay. Pregnancy and infant loss, along with maternal mortality, can happen without explanation. And so many women and families experience this without us knowing. So join us this month as we heal through this experience together. Join us on Facebook for more tips and articles throughout the month in my private Facebook group. And also, I'll be sharing a course on healing through miscarriage and abortion in our group this month as well. And after, it will only be available on Patreon. And it was a three session course that I did with a beloved sister friend, and it's no longer available in her private group. It will only be available in my private group for October, and then it will only be on Patreon. So y'all want to get in on that for the free, join our private Facebook group. So all links that I spoke of will be in the description box below, and I will see y'all next time. Ubuntu and namaste.